Hello. Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Understanding the Secrets book webinar, and we are going to be talking about chapter number 19. Welcome to the webinar. So I'm just seeing that there's some people joining here. Thank you very much for coming on time. So yes, as is normal with this webinar, we're going to start asking for wins. So any wins that you want to start sharing, it can be connected to reading the chapter, but can also be connected to your life, whatever you want to share as we start the webinar. So, okay. Okay, welcome Al, welcome Juan Carlos, also Jorn. Good, so any wins that you want to share as we start? If there are no wins, okay. Yes, please, Juan Carlos.
Yeah, just like, hi guys, good morning. Just being here with you and having this time to talk about this and learn more about this is a very good win for me.
Thank you very much, Juan Carlos, for sharing. Congratulations, good. Any other win before we start the topic of the webinar, which is chapter 19? Okay, Al, please.
Yeah, I had been looking at a car up in Chicago that I had been wanting, and it's kind of special. I mean, it's a '03 Monte Carlo Jeff Gordon Signature Edition, which is pretty cool and low mileage. Like under 20,000 miles. And I went up there, I don't know, a week or so ago and bought it and drove it down here with kind of a hassle getting through Chicago, and the weather was bad all the way down. But I would have to say that was kind of a win, and I may think of some other ones, but it's always a win to be here on this webinar.
Thank you very much for sharing, Al. Good, yes. All kind of wins. Okay, so anyone else want to share their wins before we start? Okay, Jorn, please.
Yeah, I can share. Thank you. Hi, guys. Yeah, definitely a win for me is being on this webinar this week. I realized a lot of stuff is going on and my time is quite limited and I do a lot of stuff, but I realized when I focus, I always find time for the things which are really important for me. So this was a big win for this week.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jorn, for being here and sharing your win. Okay, so we are going to start right now with the topic of this chapter, chapter number 19, which is the indicators connected to being the goal zone. So before we start, just sharing different opinions, or I share my opinions before I share my opinions. Any thing that you want to mention connected to the chapter, what come to you as you were reading it, what are your points of view on that? Juan Carlos, please.
Yes, it was for me very interesting to see that the first paragraph of that chapter, he mentions investments and mentions your self-worth and your self-esteem. You and I, Camilo, we talked about happiness a few weeks ago, and learning about happiness after doing the financial profile, finding out, as Corey said here one day, that sometimes has nothing to do with money. Your financial problems have nothing to do with money. It's about happiness and your ability to have, and that is connected to your self-esteem and your self-worth, that you value what you are and what you have. And investments that changed for me a lot when I realized that you invest life force particles, you invest creativity, you invest time, you invest energy. And sometimes we do a lot of things, or I do a lot of things, without seeing that as an investment. Just like, oh, this is who I am and this is what I do and this is like the normal thing, but really it's an investment. So starting this chapter, that took me by surprise big time. Like, okay, now here it's this big piece of information that I better understand, because if you don't see that and you don't consider yourself valuable and that you're investing those things and also money could be, then everything would be different. So it was very, very interesting to see that in this chapter.
Thank you, Juan Carlos, for sharing. Yes, the importance of your investments that will also position in different zones of life. So good that you notice that. And also that is connected to happiness, being able to have and being able also to invest in the future, like where are your life force particles invested will also determine your future, which is the higher you are in the zones, the better it is. So thank you for sharing, Juan Carlos. Any other thing that came to you as you were reading the chapter? Okay, I also wanted to welcome David. Welcome, David. Thank you for being here. Good. Okay, so any other comments that you want related to this chapter before we go in? Cool. Good. So, okay, so I was studying this chapter. What I did is, okay, let's go deeper on it and really understand it. So what I did is I clean slated the chapter. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about during this 30 minutes webinar. And what I found, like my first point that I noticed as I was doing the clean slate is that normally when you are in the goal zone, and in general for the zones are gradients of competence. So the more competence you have in an area, the higher you are in that area. And like being in the goal zone is the ultimate end goal of competence, like you are in the top of the top. And in this chapter, what I was noticing is, okay, these are different indicators in general for life, but you can also use that for a specific area. Like, okay, maybe you want to be goal zone in the relationships area. So what each of these indicators means in that specific area. Okay, so vast quantity of free and positive life force particles, for example, is the first one. Okay, so do you have vast quantities of free and positive life force particles in relationships? And if it doesn't correspond to the reality of your life, okay, how can I get this? How can I get in that area that specific indicator? So that's what came as I was doing the clean slate. And another thing that I noticed is, okay, it's like the goal zone is the ultimate standard. So if you really learn each indicator and you can use it for each part or of that area that you want to improve, you can really start living a goal zone life in that specific area. So that is my opinion, what came during the clean slate. I don't know if you have any other comments connected to, as you were reading this clean slate, the chapter 19.
Yeah, I think those indicators are that. Instead of just seeing them as something attainable or desirable, that it would be great to have that are also indicators, because there's a gradient. So you can see when you are not getting closer to that. So get familiarized with that would be good. Diego the other day told me that it would be good to read the green zone indicators every day So I think that's a very good step to get to these indicators, no?
Great. Yes, thank you, Juan Carlos, for sharing. Good. Any other comments or opinions on that? Okay. Al, please. Yes.
Well, what Juan Carlos, I think what I got out of what he was saying, I mean, it's or what it made me think of is it's like an intention. You know, when you have when you know what you're looking for, you know, I mean, there's certain phenomena, certain indicators of, you know, green zone or gold zone things that you want. And when you set the intention, you know, I want to have something that's going to be, you know, really fulfilling or, you know, mutually beneficial or whatever the case might be. I mean, and that's part of the SPIPER, you know, the when you set, I mean, when it goes from a want to an intention, then you're actually putting some of your life force into it. And it's like, you know, you're completing that part of the paradigm, and or at least getting started on that part of the paradigm at any rate. But it gives you kind of or you create like a driving force to do that. And I don't know, that's, you know, it's also a commitment thing too. You know, it's like once you say, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it, then it helps bring an alignment, and, you know, you may get additional life force from to help you in your endeavor. But I'll leave it at that for the time being.
Hey, thank you very much, Al, for sharing. Good. You mentioned a good point there. You mentioned SPIPER, which in the Secrets book it appears in chapter 3, which is the wonderful machines. So there is a spirit, perception, intention, ambition, plan, implementation, and result. So that's great that you mentioned that, because that's the same that happens with the zones. You are operating in different areas according to the paradigm that you are living. So the gold zone is when the paradigm is fully functional. It's working at 100%. It's at high velocity. It's fulfilling all these indicators. So as you move forward in life, it's great to notice, okay, where is my paradigm? It's like doing that inspection, and these indicators give us a way to compare. Okay, if I'm here, maybe I'm in the yellow zone, so what is the comparison to the gold zone? How do I get up there, and how do I improve my paradigm in order to be to the gold zone, which is the ultimate end goal of whatever the area that you are trying to improve. So yes, I really like that you mentioned also, like that it's the whole thing working together in order to give you the indicator, like show you, okay, this is working, so that's why I'm getting this indicator. Because sometimes it's like, and that was my perception that was coming as I was doing the clean slate. It's like, okay, the gold zone is up there, and I don't know, maybe it's luck, maybe it's something that, okay, I prefer to go to the green zone because it's more, I can see it better, it's more palpable. But the gold zone, as you read the indicators, you really understand like each one of the words that is in each one in this chapter. It will allow you to really get to the next point and to close the gap between zones. So, okay, that is my opinion. I also want to hear your opinions about the chapter in general. Anything else that came to you as you were reading it? Yes, Jorn, please.
Yes, what I realized also comes a little bit along what Juan said, and Camille, you as well. It's just like all the phenomena which are pointed in the gold zone. They are for me they're getting more clear. It seems some of them seems to be like far away, like a end goal, but as more often I repeat this book, I can see when it comes to the gold zone phenomena or whatever, that more of them I already known out of experience, if even if it only was like for limited amount of time. But it's a good conviction, and it feels very good that less and less points which are listed over here looking strange to me. Let's say like my understanding about what it's put up there, it's getting better, and it's also, of course, it's getting better by clean slating and reading something like this, but it also gets better by experience, at least a part of it. So it was just like a nice guideline, because for me it's important not only to read, just like to experience it, because out of experience I don't have to think about it anymore. Once I experience it, I have a better understanding. So this was pretty nice to for moving forward, or like to get a motivation to see it like this.
Jorn, that's good. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and you bring a great point there, which is action as you live life. It's like the best feedback for you, because as you move forward in the paradigm and you are implementing all your vision, your plans, what comes to you is okay. It's giving you a direct feedback of if what I'm doing is taking me to the next step in the zones or not. And you can notice that and really see the indicators. So another point that I was noticing as I was doing the clean slate is also that sometimes, okay, you see we have here 38 indicators. But in reality, if you want to start becoming closer to the goal zone in any area that you want, you just can start with one. Okay, for example, I want to be, there is one that I like, for example, this one that says has unlimited time. Okay, so what is having unlimited time in the area that I want to improve? So start studying time connected to the area that you want to improve, and starting what is time. Okay, different also words that can come connected to time: planning, scheduling, organizing, like different things that are related to that specific indicator that would really help you to get to the next point. So, okay, any other comments that you have connected to this chapter as we move forward? Yeah, Juan Carlos, please.
Yes, it is also different to see that the golden zone is maybe a goal or a destination. But when you see unlimited and insatiable desire for, it's actually like getting there to start other things, because there's no limit. It's from there, it's not like getting there and sitting there, because it's, I mean, I will clean slate this, but insatiable desire to, and all the list. So it sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Juan Carlos. That's a great point. Yes, so okay, you can. I know that you are familiar with the clean slate. That's why I mentioned it, and some of the people that will see the replay of this are also familiar. So yes, so do the clean slate on insatiable. What is insatiable? Okay, like go feel aware. So you will find more ideas about what is that, and the rest of the parts. Each word will give you like a lot of things connected to that indicator that will help you to really put that in your life and start really living it. Yes, that's great. And another thing that came as I was studying this chapter is this thing connected to, okay, being in the goal zone is being in full mastery. So as you move up to master any area connected to your life, the same that Juan Carlos mentioned. In reality, you start becoming even more interested in new topics because you see, okay, this is infinite. I can really study whatever I want and really apply it. And so maybe you become a master in a specific area, but then the whole other areas start unfolding. So that's why you can always use these indicators to guide you to get to the next area of mastery. And whatever is the area of mastery that you are trying to accomplish right now. So that's it. I really like to thank you all for attending the webinar, for being here. But before we end, I would really like to listen to your wins connected to this chapter, but also if you remember another win that you want to share, I would really appreciate for you to share. Any wins connected to reading this chapter or any other win that came to mind? Okay, I will share one. So we are right now doing the life enhancement course. Part of it is online, another part is in the ranch. We have 3 persons in the ranch and the rest is doing it online. I have to came here to do the webinar so we can stay connected and really share about the goal zone. But that's a win for me because I have noticed like my improvement in knowledge and also my improvement in different areas connected to like to being part of the team and do these kind of events. So I'm really happy with that. So that's my win that I wanted to share. So please applaud me. Good. Good. So now that I share my win, any other wins that you want to share?
I have a win that you have that win because you work very hard, my friend. You never stop. So very well done. Bravo.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. Thank you. Good. Any other win that you want to share? Good. So, okay. So we are getting to the end of the webinar. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for connecting and keep reading the book and also sharing all your points of view. You made my life easier by sharing with me and with all the audience all your different points of view. So, okay, so we will see each other next Thursday, 12 p.m., same time. And if you have any questions, you just can send us an email and see you next week. Have a great rest of the day. You. Thank you.